Ah, weep grana, weep nitty bong. I'm Engineer Hoist. It's good to see everybody, and boy, I was right down to the wire getting everything ready today. I just finished to be able to get started on time. But here we are, and as always, let's go ahead and say hi to everybody who's already in the stream. We've got Texatrons here, Grant Galvatron, John Beekman, Monkey Man, Jer Barbara, lots of the familiar faces. I see Big D, there's a Eternal Rogue, Sharksy's in the house, using his actual name. He's not rickrolling us tonight, thank you for that. Sunstreaker Waz has stopped by. He may not be sticking around for very long because it's quite late over there where Sunstreaker Waz is, and man, I really do wish I could be getting on earlier so you could be joining in too. But yeah, good to see everybody. And what do you say we get to the Transformers Earth Wars news? So this week's event, this weekend's event, is the Quench and Temper event. Now, if you're not familiar, I believe those are terms used in like metalworking to help harden blades and steel, steel and that kinds of thing. I'm sure believe that's where they got that kind of idea from. UltraTube 22 checking in from Greece. Good to have you. It's very late or very early over there for you. So this weekend, gather your alliance and take part in this weekend's event to win up to 3,400,000 Energon and Alloy. I think I did the math right on that. I had to do it pretty quick. Up to 2,000 premium crystal shards, 1,400 3-star shards, and 600 4-star shards. And there's also a chance to get a bronze, silver, and a gold G1 Power Core chip. Blades and Steel, hint to Blades, Sharksy says. Maybe not this event, but perhaps. Okay, so yes, as usual, if it says gather your alliance, it means it's an alliance totalizer. There's the usual start time, dates and times, and 1 prestige, and triple XP as usual. How do you participate? Again, you guys know this, but if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever we go live or post a new video. I gotta get that little plug in every now and then. I always forget to do it. Anyway, so you gotta be headquarters level 4 so you can join an alliance, and then you have to be in an alliance, and you tap that yellow event button and choose your battle zone and all that good stuff. All right, standard battle zones. And here are the prizes. It's actually a rather long list of prizes, so I just kind of summarized it here. Except I think I forgot to change the premium shards. You don't have to get, what does that say, 181,000 points? No, you don't need that many. Actually, I think you do. No, that's not right. Where is that? I don't remember, but that's not right. You actually get all your premium shards pretty early on. I think it's 11,000 or something. It's not very far in. You've got 2,000 premium shards. But yeah, so 31,000 you get a bronze power core chip. 121,000 you will have gotten all of your 3-star shards. They come in a few different levels. And then there you go. If your alliance gets to 296,000, you can get your gold G1 power core chip. And you can continue on up to 400,000 points in the alliance to get all 5 final thrust crystals. Now, for those of you familiar with the final thrust crystals, they have changed the prizes that are in those final thrust crystals, so stick around. We'll get to those in just a second, like right now. So they used to also, part of the final thrust crystals, they always had a few levels of spark in there up to 100,000, but you also could have gotten like 10 bronze power core chips or 10 silver power core chips, and I think everybody kind of thought that those were pretty lousy prizes, especially compared to a potential 100,000 sparks. So now final thrust crystals have nothing but spark in there, anywhere from a minimum of 5,000 all the way up to 100,000. And as you can expect, the 100,000 spark is going to be pretty rare. So now, if you're wondering who are the bots available in the G1 Power Core chips, these are the guys. Basically, anybody who has a G1 Power Core available for them is a possibility in these Power Core chips for your main faction only. For example, if you're playing as the Autobots and you have an Autobot base, you're not going to pull any Decepticon G1 Power Cores. Makes sense, right? Yeah. Okay, so I thought this was actually pretty cool, and you saw this on the thumbnail. That's not one of my entries as a submission for the Caption Contest. I just thought it actually worked out pretty well, because Optimus looks pretty downtrodden there, so, you know, and yes, I know, well, that's just Prime is an Optimus Primal saying, but hey, come on. It's kind of funny. Anyway, but so yeah, so there's the Caption Contest. You can take this image here. It's also available in the newsletter, and I'm sure it will be posted on their social media, like on Facebook or Twitter, maybe Instagram. I don't really think I follow them on Instagram. But yeah, so that you'll find this image out there. So you go grab it and type some words in that little box to describe what Optimus Prime is saying there. And now, I don't know if I want to give it away, but pay very close attention to everything that's going on in this image. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give it away, give you guys some hints and tips. Okay, so obviously Optimus Prime is there. He's sitting at, you can assume it's Teletran 1, even though it's the wrong colors or whatever, but he seems to be pretty upset. But if you notice off to the left-hand side in the bottom corner, look who's kind of down there laying on his back, looking like he's working on the machines there. You got Grimlock down there. So what is Grimlock up to? So yeah, I'm thinking Optimus Prime is like, Grimlock, what are you doing? You know, so yeah. So that should be interesting to see who picks up on that and what kind of comments they can give to Optimus Prime. Okay, so a little bit more details on this Caption Contest. Starts, what is that, tomorrow? The 14th? Yeah, tomorrow. And then, so you can start submitting, and then it runs for about a week. Go over to their Transformers Earth Wars Facebook page, the official Transformers Earth Wars Facebook page, and they will have a post there. Again, if you don't have the picture and you can't grab it from here, go grab it. I'm sure they'll have it there. And then you can submit your caption pictures in the comments of that post, and they'll select from there. Yeah, Grand Galvatron saying, how Reddit, you're supposed to only post your quotes in the Facebook post when it comes up tomorrow. I suppose you could just post your captions. Maybe you do just type it in there, but I mean, if you... and that would certainly be the easiest way to do it, especially if you don't happen to have any kind of image manipulation skills. You probably could get by just typing your caption in. That's a good point, Grand Galvatron. You could actually just type your caption with text right there in that post. But, you know, I would imagine they would probably also accept it if you were to, say, take that picture and type it in. And make the actual image be that. I don't know. Give it a try. So, yeah, Grand Galvatron saying he's trying to win. Only 15 winners allowed. You're jumping ahead, pal. You're jumping ahead. Okay, so there, as usual with every contest, there's rules. There's some general terms and conditions. There's a link in the newsletter. It's standard general terms and conditions for the game. It's over on the Space 8 website. It's got to be related to Transformers Earth Wars, and of course, keep it clean, nothing explicit or anything like that. And you can submit as many captions as you want. And Grand Galvatron is saying that, hey, he's already got a whole bunch written down, but you can only win once. So you can't, like, win all 15. You can only take one of the 15 spots, no matter how many that you submit. Bulkhead, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Emmy McNeil is here. Welcome, welcome. Okay, and the winners will be selected and announced on March 22nd on Facebook. And the instructions for prizes will be sent to the winners on Facebook, so I imagine they will probably click on your little account in Facebook and probably send you a direct message or whatever they call it through Messenger on Facebook. They'll pick the best 15 captions that be announced, and I'm sure they'll give a shout out perhaps on the stream or on the Facebook page. It doesn't say, but that's just a guess. And of course, if it's a contest, you got to win something, right? So each of the 15 winners will win 300 fuel cells, 2,000 premium shards, obviously, which is enough for 1 premium crystal, and 10,000 spark. So there you go. And of course, we've also been talking about new bots coming up in the next leaderboard event, which should be coming next week. I don't think we've talked about them on this channel because when it first came out, I had my those couple of weeks where I just couldn't get on, and then I was tired last week, But here they are, Cybertronian Jetfire and Cybertron Starscream, and I think they're actually really looking really cool. Cybertron Starscream is obviously based on the upcoming Siege War for Cybertron Starscream toy. I have that pre-ordered. It is not out yet, but I'll definitely be getting it. But the Cybertron Jetfire, even though he has a Siege figure coming, that Siege figure is really more just like his G1 representation, not really of a Cybertron. So they actually didn't copy that exactly. And they were talking about how it was similar to some of like Armada stylings, or what is it, Energon? I think they came out with a pretty decent Jetfire toy. So they're taking cues and just kind of doing that. So Chris Camacho is saying it looks like the one from Fall of Cybertron. Yeah, I did hear that too, but I haven't had a chance to go back and confirm that. And it certainly would make sense because the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games were set on Cybertron with the bots in their Cybertronian alt modes. So that certainly would make sense. But one thing we did learn this week in the newsletter is what their ability is going to be, and this is actually pretty cool for anybody who likes playing in the raids. Their ability is called the Cybertronian Laser, and basically it fires a laser dealing damage to regular buildings, or here's the key, double damage to Cybertron buildings, except the headquarters. And of course, these Cybertron buildings are any of the buildings that you find on the Cybertron canvas, which are in the raid events, both weekend and during the week raids. So these guys are intended to be part of your raid squad. So that's actually pretty cool. Red Alert's chiming in saying that Jetfire also looks like the Titanium Jetfire. Yeah, they didn't copy one exact Jetfire, so they took little bits here and there. So yeah, thank you guys all for chiming in with that. And so that does it for the news. Just one last thing to let you know, there will be no Transformers Earth Wars live stream tomorrow. It's their off week, so they'll be back next week to be showing off the new bots, getting everybody hyped and prepped for the upcoming, and I'm pretty sure they said it's going to be a standard leaderboard event for these guys. We'll find out next week for sure, but I'm pretty sure they said it's going to be a standard leaderboard event because they like to do those for I hesitate to say game-changing bots, but for the more desirable bots who have the potential to be game changers. So they like to do the standard leaderboards where it's just like the top 5 people can get it, as opposed to, say, a prestige event where you could get people, I don't know, you guys know who were prestigious. What, Hotspot I think was the first one, and we had Tiger Hawk, and you know, there's a whole bunch of them that were put out that way. But no, these guys I'm pretty sure are going to be a leaderboard event. So, what am I doing here? Going back here just to say hi. Before we go, real quick, I wanted to share this with you. I got this figure. This is the Iron Factory Megatron. I actually meant to show this off last week, but I totally forgot. This guy is awesome. For a Legends class figure, I'm not going to be showing him off, but I definitely want to do a review on this guy because when he came in, I just couldn't put him down. He's got so many different configurations. This is like the default configuration that comes out of the box. It's supposed to be like from the Megatron Origins comic, where he's kind of got a black helmet with some red on it, where he was like the gladiator in the pits of Chaos. But he also has two other different heads, plus different shoulder pads. These guns you can remove off of his shoulders there. He's got two other different fusion cannons that you can have on there. Plus, you know, here he's got tank treads on his legs. You can actually take off these shins and put shins on that don't have tank treads. You can take off these tank treads off the backpack, slap a new backpack on. It's kind of got like the gun barrel, so you can make him like a G1 Megatron. There's so many things you could do with this guy, and he's just super posable, and he's awesome to play with. So if you're a Legends collector, or if you're just a Megatron fan, get this guy. Iron Factory. He's called Tyrant. So yeah, definitely want to get this guy. He's fantastic. Also, he came in, was one of his most loyal devotees who got the Iron Factory Tarn. I haven't done a whole lot with this guy because they came in on the same day and I've just been in love with Megatron. But yeah, he looks pretty cool. He's got a selection of hands that you can change out, and double fusion cannon and stuff like that. I haven't even transformed this guy or anything, so, but yeah, that Megatron is definitely what you want to do. So let's see. All right, so let's. How about we go crack some crystals, shall we? The crystals that we have, these are the ones that we got from. Well, that's the free crystal to claim. These are the, what were they? Ghost crystals, reforged crystals we got during the last weekend event. A chance to get 2, 3, or 4 stars Sentius, Magnus, or Malice, or premium 3 or 4 star shards. Now I accidentally opened 2 of them just trying to open this little dialogue, and I got 3 star shards out of them. But let's go ahead and crack through the rest of these 38 and see how we get. Now, yeah, you're right, Grand Galvatron. I do already have all 2, 3, and 4 star Magnuses. But you know what? Duplicates give you spark, they give you power cores, they give you, if it's a 4 star, they give you 5 star shards, so I could definitely do those. So I wouldn't mind seeing one of those. So there's some 4 star shards. Got some more 3 star shards. There's some premium shards. 3 star shards. 3 star shards. There's a Sentius Magnus, that's a 2 star. With some bronze power cores, some 3 star shards. Hey Timda, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Some more 4 star shards. Some more 3 star shards. More 3 star shards. Grand Galvatron saying he only got the 3 stars Malice, but he did get a 4 star Soundwave. Oh, from pulling the shards gave you a 4 star crystal. Cool, man. Soundwave is definitely, he's always been decent, but he's gotten a lot better since they buffed his little minion guys. More 3 star shards. Denny's Creek says he got a premium crystal out of these shards and pulled himself a 4 star Jazz. That's some serious luck there, man. Congrats to you on that. More 4 star shards. 3 star shards. Got another Magnus. 3 star shards. Premium shards. Premium shards. Another Magnus. Another Magnus. 4 star shards. Yeah, that's a good point, Grand Galvatron. I was kind of hoping that they would. You know, I was kind of disappointed that they called him Sentius Magnus, because you do have Ultra Magnus, you know, in the game and in the Transformers canon, and a lot of times people would just call him Magnus. Now you can't just say Magnus because it could be either one of them, and you can't just say Sentius because it could be Malice. So you have to say Sentius Magnus, Sentius Malice. There's really no way to shorten unless you go like Sen Mag, Sen Mal. But I don't think anybody's ever said that, and I don't think anybody ever should again in the future. Senti Mag, yeah, Monkey Man's coming in. 4 star shards. You could say Malice instead of Sentius Malice, but you can't get away with that for Sentius Magnus. Tinda's ready for a fight. She pulled a 4 star lug nut. Another 2-star premium shards. You know, I haven't even really hardly been paying attention to what's been going on here. I've been chatting with you guys. There, and the last crystal gives us another 2-star dupe Magnus. I'm sorry, Sentius Magnus. We don't want anybody confused thinking it's Ultra Magnus. Alright, but it does say 3 there. I know we had the 1 being a free crystal. Another one would be a 3... Do we have a 4-star crystal waiting for us? I'll go ahead and grab the free crystal because what the heck. No. Oh, we've got a premium crystal. You know, I'm going to... Premium crystal, okay. So no 4-star crystal, but we do have a premium crystal. We'll get it on the Decepticons. Oh, 2 of them, actually. And we have a 3-star crystal. So let's go ahead and finish off this crystal cracking video with these crystals. We'll go with the free crystal. Gives us 2,000 spark. That's actually pretty nice for a free crystal. And we'll also open this 3-star Decepticon crystal. Gives us a duplicate lockdown. And 2 Decepticon premium crystals gives us duplicate breakneck. And a duplicate Mixmaster. Alright, cool. But both of those guys gave Combiner Spark, so that's very cool. Alright, so yeah. Well, oh, we get some. Somebody's mentioned something about a replay, huh? John Beekman has a replay here, so let's go ahead and take a look at this replay before we get out of here. Andreas Thornton reached Headquarters 16 yesterday. Very cool. Okay, so you've got Star Saber, Optimus Prime, Sunstreaker Prowl, Jazz, Skylynx, and Bumblebee coming in here. First, we're throwing out some incendiary barrage. Bumblebee runs up there to stun that cannon, but then gets blasted by that laser. Oh, we're rushing with Optimus Prime. There goes Star Saber, wreaking some serious havoc. Popping outposts. And Megatron and Scourge coming in there. Meanwhile, everybody else is just taking their time coming through here. Oh, I see some sharks here. Does somebody have Quintus Prime Core on them? That would be Optimus Prime's got a Quintus Prime Core on him. Oh, Star Saber died. Yeah, he tends to do that when you rush him into battle like that. And I tend to also. Oh, Bumblebee's down. Skylynx is down. Oh, here's the battle. Optimus and Megatron. We got to see. Oh, Megatron already took a lot of damage, and Optimus made quick work of him. Okay, so Optimus just really doesn't like these resources over here. Jazz tried to go up there, but that mortar took him out. Jazz and Sunstreaker are on the headquarters. Let's see if they can make it before that mortar takes him out. It moves Sunstreaker, so it changed his focus. He lost his focus, Sunstreaker. But that's okay. Prowl's like, I got this, guys. I got this. Nice win there. Nice win.
Freedom is the way of all sentient beings.
All right. We're talking about who would be the voices of the Sentius twins. Okay, let's see. Who do we got here? Big D saying, how about the twins being voiced by Patrick Stewart and Samuel L. Jackson? Oh, you know, being twins, you know, honestly, I would think it would probably, you'd almost want them voiced by the same guy, just maybe with like a different tone, because they are two halves of a whole. So that it might be interesting to do that, where you might have, you know, the same person do different voice. Like maybe, okay, do like a more noble voice and then do like an evil voice. I think that might actually be pretty cool to do something like that. Sharksy says Malice sounds like he'd be Australian or German. Okay. Yeah. 4-star Sentius Magnus. Oh yeah, I did pull a 4-star Sentius Magnus a few videos back. There he is, right there, second only to Star Saber. Well, I guess he's third to Cheetor as well. But yeah, I didn't waste any time leveling this guy up. I happened to have a XP power core. I think it was a silver XP power core, and actually put it on this guy and just did nothing but grind and level him up with Star Saber and Elita 1 and a whole bunch of other bots. Took him straight. Yes, coins were involved. I believe I even bought a fuel bundle or two. But I took this guy from brand new to level 50 in a weekend. I even skipped the 3-day 40, the research at 40. I took him straight to 50. I had plenty of spark. I had plenty of energon in the inventory. I took his ability straight to level 7. Just got Amalgamus Prime Core, which is the perfect core for him, and he's the perfect bot for this core. I just got that last week with that Prime Core, last Prime Core chip, and this guy is killing it. He is so good. But I tell you, if I had to choose one bot to take into battle out of all of Transformers Earth Wars, it would still be Star Saber. Just because he has such a large swath of damage when he does his ability. But, you know, man, Sentius Magnus is pretty darn good, too. Cheetor is good. The problem with Cheetor is he's more of a melee-style fighter, so he's even in his special ability, he's going to go right into the thick of things, and even though he heals himself, if you've got a lot of stuff around him, it can still overcome that healing, and will actually take him down. Whereas Sentius Magnus will actually, he stays back. If you're using his ability, sure, his standard attack, once he throws out a couple of arrows, he gets in there and he melees too. But if you're using his ability, he stays back, away from a lot of things, and he just starts sniping things. And so yeah, he's actually a really good bot. And oh man, I got Elita 1 over 50, and she is she's pretty awesome herself too. So yeah. Let's see. John Beekman, can we look at your in-game bot collection? Well, might as well. We're kind of doing it already. So here's what I got. You can see I've got the 3 5 stars there: Cheetor, Skyburst, and Prowl. I'm about halfway to the next one. So there, and of course we covered Star Saber, Sentius Magnus, and Elita 1. There's Skylynx, there's Optimus Prime. He's closing in on 50. Swoop, he's over 50 a little bit. Grimlock, Optimus Primal, and you know, you guys can read. I assume you can read. Some people might not be able to, but you can tell by the pictures. You guys know who they are. Yeah, these are all my 4-star bots. Not missing many. There's Flash. I've been working on her a little bit. Got her to level 44, and I've got her running with Sentius Magnus and Skyburst right now, doing Zone 11. She actually worked out really well paired with Cheetor, to be honest with you. Because Cheetor is a fast slasher and she's an invisible slasher, so they actually worked well together. So there's my 4 stars. As we start getting down here to these 4 stars here, these guys, they're most of them are waiting for research at level 40. I believe I took tracks over 40 because, you know, 4-star tracks. So yeah, and then you got Warpath, Overbolt, Cliff Jumper, and then the 3 stars. I've got all the 3 stars except for, I want to say, Sandstorm. So these guys should all be over 40, I believe, as well. Because I do like to level all my bots. See, even Cliff Jumper, the lowest 3-star, he's at level 40. And my 2 stars, all of them should be over level... Okay, except Streetwise. I haven't worked on Streetwise yet. But everybody else is level 30 or higher. And, of course, the 1 stars are all maxed. That would actually be quicker to go through, see who I don't have. Most of the 5-star bots, clearly. And this is pretty much it. There's the Cybertron Jetfire, which is not even in the game yet. 3 stars. Streetwise and Sandstorm are the only 3 stars I don't have. And there you go, just that handful of 4 stars. So... Okay, Galvatron says Sentius Magnus sucks at his job as a guardian. Well, so does Sentius Malice. Maybe if they worked together and came back together as Sentius Nobilius, they would actually do a better job. How would Cheetor be with Amalgamus? Yeah, he is in his alt mode for a little bit. You got the core heal. Now, that one might work. I know Alchemist also does healing based on damage, and I know Alchemist is. I don't think they've ever figured out why Alchemist is not working with Cheetor, unless that's intentional. But I would think Amalgamus. It does do some healing, but not a crazy amount of healing. Restores 1% health every half second, and that's it. So I mean, it would probably work on Cheetor, because it does restore that 1% health, and that doesn't change. As you level it up, it's still just the 1%. The only thing that levels up is the percentage of damage increase. So while in alt mode, it increases all damage, including abilities, by 10.5%, and that's where it is right now at level 10. It started off a little bit lower, but the healing remains the same. It remains that same 1%, regardless of how high you level it up, or at least as far as I have right now, up to level 10. So. Alright, yeah, so somebody's mentioned about getting like the War for Cybertron, the Siege stuff. If you look, I know we haven't been in this view much today, but if you look back here, I do actually have a lot of them. We got the Optimus Prime here, we got Megatron, there's Ultra Magnus, and Shockwave here. It's kind of hidden by my Crimzeek right now. But yeah, so there's, you got Shockwave over here. And the light's actually coming from the wrong direction, but his eye has like the most amazing light piping I've ever seen. I swear, if you're looking at it, it looks like it's lit up. It's like there's an LED in there. You know, so some bots have light piping that you don't think that it's really light, actually light, but you know, you can't hardly see, and so it just like dead. The eyes look dead, but not Shockwave. Oh man, some great light piping. And I kind of like this mode for him, because you know, you can take all of this stuff and put him on to where he's like, you know, Dr. Octopus or something like that, with multiple arms, with all these cannons and stuff like that. But I sticking with another comic book from Marvel, actually another Spider-Man villain, to be honest with you, more like the Green Goblin or the Hobgoblin, where he's kind of got this little sled. I kind of like this little use for this thing. Monkey Man's asking what's light piping. Okay, that's a good question. So you know, sometimes you're so deep into the Transformers, you know, community, you start to learn things and you assume everybody else knows them. So I apologize if I say anything that you don't understand. So good question there. Basically, what it is in his eye, it's clear plastic, okay, and it's probably not going to show up well. But on the top, you can kind of see there's a little bit of yellow clear plastic. And what it does is the light kind of hits this side of the clear plastic, and it makes it look like the eye is lit up. So I think we can see it a little bit there. So if you see that, if I put my finger over it, you see how it kind of goes away, and then I take my finger off and the light hits it, because now it looks like it looks like you turned on a light bulb. So that's what it means by light piping. So actually, that was actually a pretty good demonstration of how good his is. I mean, look at that. Yeah, off, on, off, on. So, I mean, even with the light coming, the light is in the front, it's bouncing off and coming back, and it's still doing that good of a job to light up that eye. But yeah, so very cool. You're asking like Combiner Wars Groove. You know, I don't remember if Combiner Wars Groove has one. I think he did. But yeah, anytime you see where like the back half of the head, normally it's the back half of the head, the entire back half is clear, and then it goes to the eye. But you know what? In this case, for Shockwave, it's just a tiny little part sticking out. So I'm thinking that's probably the key to make better light piping, is you probably want to have just a tiny little bit to catch it, and then it'll focus through the actual eyes, whereas if you make the entire back half clear, it doesn't, it gets lost, it bounces around inside all of that stuff, and it doesn't quite come out the eyes like you want it to. But I can also see how this is a little bit more difficult because what you have a front, you know, just thinking of the engineering of the head. You've got the front half of the head, the back half of the head, then you have this extra little transparent piece inside. Whereas if you do like it where you make the whole back half of the head transparent, you're down to just the two pieces, the front half and then the back half that's transparent. So it is a little bit more cheaper, I guess, because fewer parts. But they're not black. It's still yellow. It just doesn't have the light going through it, so it looks dark. It looks dark. But you take it off, you can see the eye lights up. So yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. Demise Break say you still want the Star Saber? Yeah. Well, he was hard to find. Yeah, I totally passed on him when that Masterpiece Star Saber first came out because I'm like, Star Saber? Who's Star Saber? But you know, you gotta blame Transformers Earth Wars for because to me the Star Saber was the sword of Optimus Prime in Transformers Prime. That to me, that's what the Star Saber was. And then when they're following the Masterpiece Transformers, they're like, oh yeah, the next one is going to be Star Saber. I was like, who? But you know, of course, then I saw, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that's pretty cool. But most of my Transformers collecting is related to nostalgia. It's characters that I remember and enjoyed and loved from when I was younger. So I want to go collect characters of them. And, well, I know Volcanicus wasn't that, but sometimes, you know, you kind of also, I've gotten more into recent stories too, so I also want to collect characters from recent stories. Star Saber wasn't either. So I was just like, well, who is Star Saber? So then, of course, he went out, people got him, and then, you know, he's all sold out and everything, and then we get Star Saber in Transformers Earth Wars, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I wasn't that big a deal. Then I got the 4-star, I'm like, okay, everybody's really raving about this guy. And yeah, he's pretty awesome. And then, so I didn't really look hard for Star Saber, but one time, it was a few months ago, I happened to see that he did show back up on one of the retailers. I want to say TF Source. I found him, and I'm like, buy. So yeah, so Transformers Earth Wars forced me to pay way too much money for a Masterpiece Transformer that I otherwise would not have purchased. They also inspired me to get that Planet X Ismenios, the Deathsaurus version, and also I'm going to be getting the, well, I suppose IDW Comics had a little hand in that one too, but I'm also going to get the Planet X Star Saber as well, because this is more of a G1 Star Saber, and the Planet X version, I want to say it's called Cadmos, is actually more of an IDW style. Speaking of which, a Star Saber, you talk about Star Sabers, there's a Flame Toys statue, not even really a statue, it's just a non-transforming figure. I don't know if you've seen like the Drift and the Tarn, they're like super detailed, super posable with LEDs and stuff like that. Amazing figures. Outside of my price range, well, I could afford them if I wanted to. I choose to spend my money on other things. But they're making a Star Saber as well, and oh, looks amazing. But that's another one that I'm just going to admire in, from the other side of a screen in pictures or in somebody else's video. But I am going to get that Planet X Star Saber to go along with the Planet X Deathsaurus. So, well, Skylings54 is asking, will I make a video showing Cybertron Jetfire and Cybertron Starscream? Probably not a dedicated video. Space Ape has said that they're going to try to get us early copies of those bots on the test account. Myself, Sunstreaker, Waza, Trios Theory, Alpha Prime, so we can make videos on them. And I know as soon as those guys get them, they'll get videos out. You know it. So if you're not subscribed to them, go check those guys out. Man, I just don't have time really to do anything, but I still need to get links to their channels. But what I'll do is, if we have them in time, I plan to show them off next week's stream. Hopefully we'll be able to do next week's stream. I'm pretty sure in 2 weeks we're not going to be able to stream. because it's coming to the end of the month and coming to the end of work stuff's going to get super busy in 2 weeks is what I'm saying, and I'm pretty sure I won't be able to stream 2 weeks from now. Next week, hopefully. But just like I did the last couple of weeks ago, if I'm not able to, I will let everybody know in the community post. So make sure that you're subscribed.